Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing well. In today's video we are taking a look at the latest tier rate premium light ERAC 105 Proto. This tank has a 105 gun as the name states with a 390 alpha, and the gun is identical to some medium tanks like King Dragon Type 59-2 because it has 390 alpha and the same pen, 200 standard on APCR, 250 heat. So very strong gun for a light tank, and considering these days it's all about alpha, this tank does feel enjoyable when you play it because you have an advantage trading against other light tanks, especially when you're top tier. Then you can obviously outtrade some same tier mediums as well as the lower tier tanks as well. Even though this tank has a slightly longer reload, slightly more aim time, and worse gun handling, however, it's not really an issue because you're not spotted. The tank has very good concealment, not the greatest of view range, but the concealment is decent enough where you're not spotted. You have your time to aim for shots, and you do end up penning it. This tank actually has better penetration than the tier 10 EBR. It's also not a wheel tank. It has track, so it does not have that wonky mechanic where you just do 360, so it's obviously easier to play when it's wheel tank, and I do find it more enjoyable than playing the tier 10 EBR, despite this tank being tier 8. So the tank goes 70 forward and about 20 plus reverse. However, there is a catch. This tank is sluggish and it's big, so it feels like when you're stationary to gain the speed, it feels like Vanguard, as the power to weight is around 24, and normal light tanks you have 30 plus or 30, around close to 35 power to weight. So the tank, not only is it big because Vanguard is small, right, so you might still able to escape, but this tank is big and slow to accelerate, so you have to kind of play like a medium because that's what the role of this light tank is. It's like more of a passive light tank because you do have the gun to do damage, but you have a great platform as the mobility is really good, so you can quickly reposition and kind of get into position early, do some early damage, and that's what you saw we did to the Type, put some shots, and then Thiepvalridge, he saw us, started chasing it. It's very easy to get this RBR because of how big it is, and then when I was running, Charfooter also managed to put a shot into me. So you have to be careful that you have when you play this tank, be passive, especially early on and mid game, and then you can trade HP late in the game. The HP is pretty average, 1000, but if I played a little bit more tier 8s, then I would definitely recommend getting this tank, especially at 50%, and I might as well whenever this tank comes on sale. Tier 8 lights are usually cheaper as well. The tank is about 8,000 something, so if you don't want to buy it at full price, I would recommend buying that tank if you enjoy playing tier 8s and if you can enjoy playing light tanks, as it's a decent tank. It's a good tank. I had a pleasant experience playing this tank and not a struggle while playing some of the other French tanks like as I said, the tier 8 EBR. And in fact, I don't even like playing Vanguard just because how bad the gun is, and if I kind of control my positioning, and you can do really well in this tank. And as you saw, I came back to my initial position searching for 5 Type 4. Charfooter got spotted, put a shot into him, realized I have enough time with longer interclip of char, and put a shot into him. I don't have stabilizer, I don't run stabilizer, and you can see I'm still able to pan char. My setup and skills are listed in description, but my equipment is pretty standard that I use for most light tanks. Loader, optics, and camo. I opt to choose out of stabilizer because as I said, when you're not spotted, you have time to aim your shots, so you can get away without using stabilizer. And that's what you saw when I was looking at Type. I managed to pen him, then we managed to pen the Thiepvalridge when he was chasing me, and then we also managed to pen Charfooter. Our team is leading with 2 tanks. Type gets spotted, he's kind of hiding in the corner, so I decided to ignore him and try to find the artillery. In most tanks, artillery is the one hunting you, but when you are in the light tank, sometimes you do get an opportunity where you can hunt the artillery and return the favor. I am trying to be careful of the type as well, as he was kind of spotted in the F0 corner and don't want to get shot by him, because when artillery might spot me since I'm looking for artillery. So try to be careful, and artillery do get spotted, spots me in return. I do have heat loaded from the earlier, missed my shot, switching to APCR as I have the time. Artillery was coming in for the ram and brake checked him, or whatever his plan was failed. And reversing just to kind of finish, playing with artillery while I'm reloading. As long as I stay behind, he kind of knows there's no hope for him, so he decided to move forward. So mobility, as I said, once you gain speed, 70 is pretty decent. You can run around the map. However, as I said, it is a big target. And in one of the games, I got penned by artillery, full pen by artillery in Ruenberg. And not a fun experience, because it's just a fat light tank. So always be careful. I even got shot by AVRE at 500 meters while I was trying to accelerate. And the more I play this tank, the more careful you have to be, that you will not get lucky like in other tanks. 3500 damage, put a shot into Yak Tiger. 103 gets spotted, but it's a shot into his side as well, and pen as well. Another good thing about the gun is, because of the caliber, you do end up overmatching the sides, which you can't in most of the light tanks because of the smaller gun caliber. And if essentially, in short words, if you like the gun that King Dragon or Super Sherman has, like a big alpha gun, but wanted it on more mobile and better camo platform, this is a tank. It does have less DPM though. By the reload is about a second or so longer, so a little less DPM. Type finally comes out of his hiding corner, get penned. I did have heat loaded for the other two tanks, but Type kind of peaked at a unfortunate time when I heat loaded, otherwise he might have bounced that shot. And aiming for his center plate, I should have gone for the lower plate and hope for a high roll in the pen, but that didn't happen. However, I had him spotted and my teammate managed to finish the tank. So not a bad result for the first game. This was not my first game though, but the first replay. 4600 damage and some 1300 assists as well. I was mid-tier, and the playstyle is similar. Even when you're top tier, mid tier, or lower tier, don't try to be an active scout. That is not what this tank was. It is it has the speed to get into positions quickly, so you can farm early damage, and then control position, and then get out of that position if you feel there is trouble, right? But just don't think that just because you have speed, you're invincible. Now the second map, we're in thiepvalridge. Got the encounter spawns. I'm pushing straight. I am top tier, and there are a bunch of tier 6s, and this is when I realized we don't get a lot of tier 6 against tier 8s these days because of the matchmaking changes. But I just realized how strong this tank can be against lower tiers, because that's the Tiger 217, right? A tier 6 heavy tank. I can just kill him in 3 shots without getting spotted, and of course I have the same hit points as that tank. So the tank is very powerful against lower tiers as well, just because it can rotate out. Very capable against similar tier, and can work against tier 9s as we saw in the last game. And for tier 10s you just have to be way more patient than other tiers, just because it is the case that you will not end up outspawning any tanks at tier 10 if they're hiding properly. So don't be, you can still kind of take risk at tier 8 and 9, right, but not so much at tier 10. So a top tier game, pretty confident, not really worried, because even if they shoot me, I won't really take that much damage, probably 200 or even less at times. Tiger 217, just before I got there, my teammate took him out. Ferdinand gets spotted. I can see his lower plate, easy pen, and getting in cover. Now they kind of know where I was. I just wanted to spot them early on, but when I was pushing, I did get spotted by the Tiger, so they kind of knew, but didn't matter. They didn't really get in cover. Still got 738 assists, Earthshaker was driving forward, put it a shot into side. It's always a little bit mixed. I thought I might be able to go through him, but he had the angle a little bit more and ended up the shot getting absorbed on his side. SU-100 looking pretty confident. Maybe he's thinking he has 400 alpha, king of alpha or something at tier 6. However, he was not aware that I can just see his edge and hit him for almost the same alpha. He retreated. Earthshaker is retreating as well. However, he kind of backed up in a unfortunate way, and I was able to pen him his upper hull. The score's pretty even, leading by 2. And just trying to look for opportunities here, so I can pen Earthshaker and then I can move forward, because if I push soon, they might just turn and start focusing on me. Currently the team is busy on VK 100, and I'm just trying to find a shot on this medium who perfectly keeps hiding from me. The base accuracy, as I said, isn't the greatest, but accuracy gun handling hasn't been much of an issue since 6.0, and the standard does have because of the gun, it has 1400 plus meter per second shell velocity, so very good shell velocity, and since it's a tier 8, it does not suffer from pen drop that tier 10 does. I was not expecting to have this much fun in this tank, because as I said, it is tier 8. You know, half the time you'll be facing tier 10s or tier 9s, and rest of the time you will be top tier. So you always have to be kind of careful to play these lower tiers, just because how difficult it is to play these tanks. But because of this alpha, the trading, it's a fun tank. Definitely recommend, as I mentioned earlier, if you're into light tanks. So finally pushed forward, and just playing with these tanks. 49 is fixed rated. I had health. I was like, I'll just go around 49, and even if prototype wants to shoot me, he can, which he did. He penned me once and tried to ram me, but I put 49 between him and prototype got distracted by the medium, but I did not forget about him. So while he was engaged, turned around. As you said, revenge is sweet, especially when they're not even looking at you, when they ignore you, you know. It's like, is this light tank running away, and he moved towards the other tank, allowing me to pen him one more time. 3200 damage, 800 assist, and there are 3 enemy tanks left. Our team is in a pretty strong position, now closing down towards the rest of the enemy team that are fighting with our heavy and tank destroyers. Just a matter of time before I get there. I can take a shot if needed from the mediums, the freedoms, but and even from the heavy, I think the Nameless has about 300 alpha. So I am 2 shots for all these tanks, but very confident that they won't be able to see me either. I will be able to take free shots, not to mention they're kind of distracted by my teammate, because our tank destroyer is holding an angle, so they have to drive towards him, and I'll have their side or back as they're closing towards the tank destroyer. Almost in render. Was hoping to get there first so I can get more shots compared to my teammates. However, when I was zooming in, he got unspotted. Unfortunate. However, he was also just 1 shot, not less than 1 shot, like 60 HP, so not the greatest, but nonetheless, put a shot into him, took him out of the game, got another kill. At 3 kills now, and our light tank or tank destroyer was smart. He kind of rotated on towards on this side, baiting him towards our team. Usually what happens most of the time is they just stay there and die because you are getting rushed. Nameless not really paying attention, too focused, too much committed on that charioteer, allowing me to farm him, pen him again, and now he's less than 100 damage. The chieftain does have health as well, so I'm closing in towards the freedom. He exposed his side, but my shell ended up hitting his gun. That does happen time to time, as I said, but the overall gun handling is nice for the tank. 5v1. closing on to the freedom. Wanted to hit the 5k mark. This is the only 5k damage game I had. There were some games where the opportunity to do more, but I kinda got greedy. Even in this case, I missed the first shot. Do end up hitting the second. And our M20 1699 destroying freedom with the rocket. So that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Do let me know what you think about the tank in comments. Have a great rest of your day.